You're on a diet right now. Maybe you don't call it that. Maybe you call it eating better or being more careful or trying not to eat so much junk, but your brain is counting. Your brain is always counting. Your ancient ancestors never counted a single calorie in their lives, and they were thin. Not because they were disciplined, not because they had willpower, not because they exercised more. The reason is stranger than any of that, and once you understand it, the way you think about food will never be quite the same. Start with a number, 40 million. That is roughly how many years the primate lineage your body descends from spent eating food directly from the ground, trees, and rivers around them. 40 million years of your biology being shaped by one simple rule. If it exists in nature, you can eat it. If it doesn't, you can't. For almost all of that time, no human being ever encountered a food that was engineered to defeat their appetite. No food that was specifically designed to make you want more after you already had enough. No food built in a factory to hit the exact combination of sugar, fat, and salt that sends your brain's reward system into a loop it can't easily exit. That combination sugar and fat together, or fat and salt together, at levels that never occur naturally, did not exist in your ancestors' world. Not once, not anywhere. Your brain was never built to resist it, because it never needed to be. Anthropologist Alyssa Crittenden of the University of Nevada has spent years studying the Hadza people of northern Tanzania, one of the last remaining populations of true hunter-gatherers on Earth. The Hadza eat what their landscape provides: tubers, berries, honey, game, fruit. Their diet shifts with the season. Nothing is processed, nothing is engineered, and the Hadza are lean. Not because they are hungry, not because they deprive themselves. They eat until they are full, every time. They simply never encounter a food that is designed to override the signal that tells them they are full. That signal is real. Your body has a system, built over millions of years of evolution, to tell you when you have eaten enough. Hormones released in your gut travel to your brain and say stop. It works reliably with whole food. It is slower, less precise, and easier to overwhelm with food that has been industrially processed to digest faster, hit your reward system harder, and suppress the hormones that would otherwise make you put it down. In 2019, researcher Kevin Hall at the National Institutes of Health ran the first controlled experimental study directly testing what ultra-processed food does to how much people eat. He put two groups of people in a clinical setting for a month. One group ate a diet of minimally processed whole foods. The other ate ultra-processed food. Both groups were told to eat as much or as little as they wanted. The ultra-processed group ate, on average, 500 more calories per day. They gained weight. The whole food group lost it. Same people, same freedom to stop eating whenever they wanted. The only variable was the food itself. 500 calories every single day. Not because the ultra-processed group was weaker, not because they lacked discipline, because the food they were eating was built to make stopping harder than it would naturally be. Now here is where it gets counterintuitive. You might assume that the reason your ancestors stayed thin was that they moved more, that the key difference between ancient life and modern life is exercise, that if you just match the Hadza's activity level, you would match their body. In 2012, anthropologist Herman Poncer led a study that measured the actual daily calorie burn of Hadza, hunter-gatherers, men and women, who walk, dig, climb, and forage across the Tanzanian savanna for hours every day. He used a technique called doubly labeled water, the most accurate method available for measuring real-world energy expenditure. Then, he compared the Hadza's numbers to those of adults in the United States, Europe, Russia, and Japan. The results stopped researchers in their tracks. The Hadza burned the same number of calories per day as Westerners. Adjusted for body size, there was no difference. None. People who walk miles through open savanna every day, digging tubers out of the ground with sticks, burn the same daily energy as people who sit in offices and drive cars. Poncer's explanation is that your body has a constrained energy budget. When you increase physical activity, your body compensates by reducing energy spent on other internal processes: inflammation, stress response, minor repairs to keep the total roughly stable. Your metabolism, it turns out, is not a simple equation where more movement equals more calories burned. It is a regulated system that evolved to stay balanced, not to respond linearly to whatever exercise you add on top. Which means your ancestors were not thin because they moved more. They moved vastly more than most people do today, and they burned the same number of calories. They were thin because of what they put in their bodies. Specifically, because of what was absent from it. No combination of sugar and fat that doesn't exist in nature. No engineered texture designed to dissolve faster than whole food, so you swallow more before the full signal arrives. No flavor chemistry designed to make the 14th chip taste as compelling as the first. None of it existed, and without it, your body's ancient appetite system worked exactly as it was designed to. The problem isn't your willpower. The problem isn't your exercise routine. The problem is that your brain is running 40-million-year-old software in a food environment that was designed, in the last 50 years, specifically to exploit every vulnerability that software has. You are not weak. You are mismatched. Every craving that feels like failure is actually your ancient brain doing exactly what it evolved to do, responding to a signal that says, calorie-dense, reward-rich food is available and rare, and you should eat as much of it as possible right now because you don't know when you'll find it again. That instinct kept your ancestors alive through lean seasons. It kept the species going across ice ages. It just was never supposed to be tested 3 times a day, every day, in a world where that food is available at every corner, engineered to be more compelling than anything your brain evolved to encounter. So, the next time you open a bag and find yourself halfway through it before you noticed you started, don't call it weakness. Call it what it actually is. A system working exactly as designed, running into conditions it was never built for. Your ancestors stayed thin without ever trying, not because they were better than you, because their food didn't fight back.